Hey everyone, what's up? In this video, I'm going to show you how to panel a cake with modeling chocolate or fondant. I find that it's easier than actually draping a cake in modeling chocolate or fondant, so stay tuned and enjoy. So the first thing you want to do is get your modeling chocolate, or if you're using fondant, grab your fondant, and you want to start kneading it to get it nice and warmed up and pliable. You want to dust your surface with cornstarch and then start to roll it out. So I like to roll mine out to about 1/8 of an inch thick and kind of trim it so I don't have a bunch of extra stuff there. Now on my cakes, I typically have them in the fridge or the freezer prior to paneling. So when I take them out, they have that condensation on it, and that's enough for my modeling chocolate to stick to it. But if you don't have yours refrigerated with that condensation, you want to take some clear corn syrup and mix it 50-50 with some vodka and paint that on your cake so that it's like a glue for your modeling chocolate or fondant. Now that we have this piece that is a little bit larger than our actual cake top, we're going to lift it up and put it on there, smooth it out with your hand, or you can use a fondant smoother. I find that my hand is good. It provides enough warmth to get it on there, and I just like using my hand. I like rubbing it. Now we're gonna take a sharp razor, and first go round, I'm just gonna trim off all that extra. Now that I've got that extra modeling chocolate cut off, I can work a little bit easier with this, and I'm gonna line my knife blade parallel right against the cake underneath, and we're just going to trim off the extra. And I usually end up going around twice on this part because I don't want to cut into the cake. So now I'm going to get really close and shave off right against the cake. So essentially we're making a cap or a lid on our cake right now. And you can see all that condensation. That's making my modeling chocolate stick really well. Okay, so now we've got our cap on there, and I'm gonna take my corn syrup mixture and paint it around the edge of the modeling chocolate or fondant. Now we'll move that aside for now. We're going to work on the actual paneling part now. You want to make sure your surface is dusted really well with the cornstarch, or else when you go to roll up your panel piece, it is going to stick to the surface. But you guys probably already know this if you're used to working with fondant or modeling chocolate. So I'm going to take it and roll it into a log or a sausage or whatever you prefer to call it, that is about, basically you take the diameter of your cake times it by pi, 3.15, which is a part of cake decorating that I never thought I would need. And then I'm gonna use the palm of my hand to flatten this out. And now use the rolling pin to get it a couple inches wider or taller than your actual cake is, so you have plenty of room to work with on the top and bottom, and you don't have any shortages with the height of that. So once you've gotten your fondant or modeling chocolate rolled out to the right height that you need for your cake, you just want to trim off that clunky extra stuff at the top and bottom. It just makes it easier to work with. Now you want to roll this up and bring your cake close. Now I'm just rolling this around, being very careful not to get any extra air bubbles under there. Now at this point, you can either overlap these two pieces and cut with a razor down and make those two pieces meet up really perfectly on the underneath side. But I like to overlap mine a little bit in the back, so I'm gonna use more of that edible glue and just run a strip of that up an inch or two on the back and then press that against it. And then trim off the extra. Now, the first thing I want to do now is trim off the extra that's coming down from the bottom. So I just take this starting in the back and put it up here, and you're going to use your cake board as a guide and just trim that off, pushing up against the bottom of the cake board. Now at this point, I like to I love these acetate sheets, and all I do is I go to the store and they usually sell them in like a 3-pack. They're actually cutting boards, and I cut them into the sizes that I want, but these work so good to smooth out modeling chocolate especially, but it works on fondant too. And they're basically like little fondant sanders. So I like to rub up and down because that will help any air bubbles that you have underneath to either escape through the top or the bottom. And so that's what I like to do first. You want to take your super sharp razor and starting at the back seam, and you're going to slowly trying to get right up to that top piece of modeling chocolate or fondant that we did previously without cutting into it. All right, ready? Ta-da! And now you can just brush these extra little pieces off. And you might find some places where it's still a little high, so you want to trim that off. And that is how you panel a cake with modeling chocolate or fondant to get super sharp edges. I hope you found this tutorial helpful. Please like, share, and subscribe, and don't forget to ring the bell. I look forward to seeing you next time. All right, hi guys. I am so glad you're, okay, that's not good. Bad. Hey everyone, what's up? I'm so glad you're here today. I am going to show you a super awesome way of covering your cakes and Hey everyone, can't even talk.